Hello, my name is Jared Morris, and this is Settled Christianity, coming at you with a brand new video, hopefully going a little bit quick since my wife is doing the filming on my phone today. I didn't have time to really do it on the actual camera. But it was just a follow-up from last week where we talked about reprobation, and we were talking about this idea of can someone do something to prove that they're not saved? And there's a variety of positions. There's positions that there are, the Calvinists hold that reprobation just refers to all lost people, and they show it, and by God's will they can't be saved. Position like Stephen Anderson and the like, who says that if you do a certain type of sin, usually homosexuality, that not only are you showing that you're not saved, but you actually can't be saved past that point. There's the view held by a more common view, which is the idea that you can do something to prove that you are lost. You can do something that proves that you are really not saved, but you can come back from this, so to say, that God is still working in your heart and He still hopes for you to be saved, and you can be saved past this point. There's the view that reprobation is referring to really just a person has arrived at a point where God just has stopped working in their life, just has rejected Christ and rejected Christ. Now God's just not going to deal with them anymore, and this person's become a reprobate, and God just will not deal with them with salvation anymore. And finally, just the view held by also quite a few, which is that reprobation just means hard heart, that a saved person or a lost person can reach this point. It just means backslidden, essentially, and there is no way you can know for certain if someone is lost or not. So I'm going to read the passage just real quick. It comes from Romans 1, and here in 28 it says, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them." And just looking at the definition of reprobation, gonna break down not only this verse but some others, but the definition of reprobation means, or reprobate specifically, is failing the test, or being impure. As we see in Jeremiah 6:30, the only use of reprobate in the Old Testament, it's referring to kind of like silver or like a precious metal that's getting put into a furnace, and it's reprobate. It says that these men will be called reprobate silver, that you put into the furnace and it just basically crumbles because it's impure. It has all these problems, and it when put into the fire, they're going to crumble, and it's going to be obvious that they are impure. And I believe, looking at the different verses given in the Bible, there's 7 different verses that uses the word reprobate. And I believe that it is referring to somebody who is lost, and someone that we can look at and know is lost. So Jeremiah, well, like I said, is the putting the silver in the fire, and it's impure, it's crumbling. It's they will be called reprobate silver. In 2 Corinthians 13, 5-7, this is Paul saying, I hope that you're not reprobate. You should test yourself to know whether you're in the faith or not, whether Christ resides in you. And you need to do this to make sure you're not reprobate. This is talking about people who have convinced themselves that they are saved, convinced themselves that they are serving God, when in reality they've never had that moment when they have fully trusted in God as their Savior. We find in 2 Timothy 3:8, he's giving an example of those who challenged Moses, and he says these people were reprobate, had turned against Moses, had turned against God. Titus 1:16. I'm going to be flipping over here. So Titus 1:16, it talks about, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. And these, I believe, are referring to people, just people who've been termed reprobate mind, is talking about people who know what is right, but in every area has decided to do evil. As we see in Romans, once again, it's people who know the judgment of God, who know what is right, and not only do evil, but take pleasure in those who do it. And we see here that unto every good work reprobate, that they have become impure in every area. In closing, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to read 1 John, 1 John 3 and verse 9 and 10. It says, whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of God. In this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. And it doesn't have the word reprobate, but I like this idea that John says that in this, so he says that, comparing children of Satan, children of God, and how children of God sin not, or, they're striving towards purity. And specifically, he says in 10, in this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. He says in this area, you can look, and it becomes obvious who is the child of God and who isn't. The children of the devil is manifest in the area of purity, in the area of love, in the area of trying to not sin. So I believe that a reprobate mind is somebody who is lost and has arrived at a point when they have, are fully encompassed by sin. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't be saved. I believe they can be. I believe God is working in their hearts. But I believe that a reprobate is also somebody who, we can look at somebody and know that they are lost. I believe if someone falls away into apostasy, if they have fallen into complete impurity in their life, I believe that it is evidence that they are not saved. But anyways, I'll go ahead and end that with, I'll go ahead and end the lesson with that. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. And let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, like, and share. This has been Subtle Christianity, helping you continue in the faith.